Willkommen Studenten. Ich bin Eric. I am the German tutor at Fresno City College, and today we'll be talking about strong verbs versus weak verbs, specifically the stem changing. And so I want to kind of look at this Venn diagram here, and what it's saying is that the verbs, I'll write this Verben, are we have a couple of different types, but since we're in an introductory course, I will go ahead and talk about the three, or I should say just two here. Strong verbs typically are irregular and have stem changing, and over here we have what are called weak verbs that have regular endings and no stem change. What does that even mean? Well, in the German language, we have a couple of verbs here in the week that follow a regular pattern, I guess you should say, which is right here. The ish ending is an E, the du is an ST, SES is a T, wir ends in EN, ihr ends in a T, and ZZZ end in EN. So let's take the verb kaufen, which is considered a weak regular verb. And what ends up happening is when we conjugate it, okay, ich kaufe. Notice I'm dropping the en for each of these. Du kaufst, sie es kauft, wir kaufen, ihr kauft, sie kaufen. So, as we can see here, kaufen, to buy, follows this regular pattern that I've drawn here. We have an E for the E, ich, ST for du, kaufst, a T for SES, kauft, kaufen for wir kaufen, ihr, we have a T, ihr kauft, sie kaufen, en. So the infinitive form of this verb, unconjugated, remains for wir and it remains for sie. And also, we notice the ihr and SES forms have the same form. And so if I were to put this into practice, if I said wir blank einen Apfel, and I wanted you to properly conjugate this verb, kaufen, according to the subject, it would in fact be kaufen. Wir kaufen einen Apfel. Now if I were to say ich blank, then Tisch, here it would actually change to ich kaufe. Remember that the verb is always in second position, okay? Here I have some direct objects, which means these are in the accusative case. And over here I have my subjects, which are in the nominative case. Okay? Now, let's talk about over here, we have what are called strong verbs, okay? They have irregular changes in their conjugations as opposed to the weak verbs. And they have stem changing. Now, a stem changing vowel means that it follows one of these four patterns. And so laufen, which means to run, okay, follows this pattern down here, number 4. So one rule to recognize is that this vowel change or stem changing only occurs for the do and as the s forms. It does not occur for any of the others. So I would conjugate this not only according to the stem changing, but also according to these verb endings over here that we learned with the weak regular verbs. So I would say ich laufe, du läufst, es läuft, wir laufen, ihr lauft, sie laufen. Now, notice the pronunciation has changed for the do and es form. Ich laufe, du läufst, es läuft, wir laufen, ihr lauft, sie laufen. Okay, so this is an important concept when conjugating what we consider stem changing vowels. And later on, you will learn what are called mixed verbs, which are strong verbs, but they take weak, regular conjugations. So I think that's all for today. If you have another verb, okay, that follows one of these patterns and is strong and irregular, put it into practice. Ich laufe, I run. Or we can even say put that right there. Läufst du? Do you run? And that's all there is to it.